Hello, we are back with the Purple Dino Charge Ranger construction. This is part 4, and we are making the bracers today. Well, starting to make the bracers. I actually ended up using actual bracers that I had. These are leather or pleather bracers. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but I ended up using them as a template to go ahead and create these bracers. I ended up straightening the edges here, as you can see, at the top, and I left the bottom ones how they were so I can close them on my arms properly. I have definitely learned a lot from these, and I realized I'm gonna have to redo them because I ended up not using a heat gun, and you're definitely gonna need a heat gun, but hey, we learned from our mistakes, so might as well share the process that I actually really liked. So I am definitely going to be redoing them the way you see. The only difference is I'm going to be using a heat gun instead of a hair dryer, and finishing them as soon as I actually paint them. I left them there for so long, but this is the part that you're going to want to use the heat gun. Once you get both of your pieces cut out, use an actual heat gun. A hair dryer definitely did not work well for this, and a heat gun will easily be able to fold it and bend it really nicely, and will allow you to make your bracer. But using existing bracers as a template was awesome, especially if you know how they feel on you already. So as you can see, that was the example of the bracer that I'm making. I do have to make that top piece. The top piece has a silver piece. I did end up waiting a little too long because I had to use moldable foam on that and then bend it. I also needed to use the heat gun on that, and I waited a little too long, but all these pieces are going to be exactly the same. Like I said, the only thing is you want to make sure to use the heat gun, and you're going to start molding it so it looks just kind of like it's like a little rectangle in the middle with some little strands coming out from the sides of it, and that's what we're doing. So I ended up using my actual existing bracers that I made, some contact cement glue, and then some moldable foam. You're gonna see that I'm gonna be molding it in multiple different ways. We're going to be making the middle and then the sides. So the sides are literally just a strand right in the middle of it. If you feel that you need to measure, go ahead and measure, or you could just go by eye like I did to see how it should be. I went ahead and just did one big strand, and then went ahead and added contact cement so I could go ahead and slowly glue it on the bottom. The moldable foam does need to dry afterwards, but I did want to make sure it was at least glued down. So once it was glued down, I was still able to mold it, and I went ahead and did like just a measurement to see what would be the middle section, so I can add that middle piece, which is kind of like a rectangle. There's just a lot of molding, and then it's kind of like a rectangle with like a lift, so I just pretty much folded it over that strip that I had already done, and it was pretty centered at that point. And there was just a lot of molding, so that's exactly how it needs to look. And this piece will then later be spray painted silver, but I didn't get that far on this part. So I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm just going to go ahead and mold out a giant strip, as you can see there, that we're going to be centering in the middle, and adding some contact cement. Contact cement, just wait till it gets a little tacky, or you could just be impatient like me and just put it straightly on there. I tend to be a little impatient, but I did kind of wait, a little bit for it to air dry. This is fast forwarded quite a bit. And the same, we're just going to be molding it a little rectangle in the middle. As you can see, I aligned both of the strands together so they look pretty even, and I could put them in the same area. And you're just folding over that rectangle so it still keeps that curvature going. So now that we have both those pieces, you let those dry, and then you also want to make sure they fit on there first of all before you completely let them dry. And you're going to want to mold them eventually while it's still wet. Use a heat gun, I would recommend. I did spray paint these bracers, and I also went ahead and sealed them up before I spray painted. So now I'm going to go ahead and just Mod Podge them. They would have been more bent if I used the heat gun, which is why I say definitely use the heat gun, and then you could go ahead and attach the other pieces once those pieces are spray painted as well. I have learned a lot from this, and I can't wait to actually redo these and get them exactly how I wanted to. I'm definitely gonna have to record it or see if I can have some before and after pictures on my Patreon or something, because this is definitely a process that has taken a while for me to learn. I'm still learning how to make armor, bracers, and all that stuff, and it can be complicated. It's all a learning curve and a process, but like I said, if I didn't lag on them so much, they wouldn't have gotten to the point where they are. They're cracked, and I had to throw them away as well as the pieces that I made, but I will be redoing these, and hopefully I can get them on video for y'all. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This is how far I got on these bracers, and I can't wait to show y'all more of my Purple Dino Charge Ranger process, which will be new videos in the future. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!